So we've seen some of those four-wheeled vehicles that are for rent along Kings Highway up and down.
Well, and those that are
are a
for
little
rent,
faster, right?
Yeah, those are not technically golf carts, and those are licensable. A golf cart is not licensable.
Yeah, that is fascinating. You really know this stuff, Mark.
I have to answer
Sound
these
like an
questions a
attorney.
lot.
You better be careful. That's right. Have to answer these questions a lot. That's true. Those are not ones you sit off to the Chamber of Commerce.
No. And then you get a fun question now and again. Someone from Canada visited and said, "Gee, I just heard that there may be sharks in the water off Myrtle Beach." Well, gee, sharks live in the ocean.
That's
so
right.
That is where they live.
Yes. The beach is, I'm sure that question does come up every once in a while, and probably a lot of folks are fearful of sharks. The beaches are so beautiful along the city of Myrtle Beach, and really picking up this summertime. As you can see already, the crowds filling out there. And this past weekend, a lot of folks on the beach, as well as the last couple of weeks. Are there, when you, of course, the city decals, are there particularly good places for folks if they're coming in from the PD or southeastern North Carolina to look for parking? Is it just all up and down the Strand?
It really is all up and down the Strand. Public access, and that's one of the questions that comes up from people who aren't familiar with South Carolina, where the beach essentially is public. They want to know where the public access is. Well, the public access is, every block or more than every block in most cases, so you can easily get onto our beaches here.
Okay.
That's really not one of the issues that we have. If they're coming to stay in one of the hotels, it may be more convenient for them to go to the beach near their hotel.
Right.
If they're staying with family in the area, they may pick a place that's more convenient for them to go. But there aren't any restrictions as to where you can go to the beach.
Good. Yeah, I bet a lot of folks do wonder about that. Not to put you on the spot, but do you have any idea if the pavilion parking garage will be open this summer?
I do. Actually, I do know the answer to that question. It will be open this summer as usual.
Good. Great. Of course, not tapping that beautiful 11-acre track there. And I saw many of the Sun Fun activities, and Holly will be talking with us tomorrow about that, but a lot happening at Plyler Park.
Correct.
Rather than down at the pavilion.
A lot of those Sun Fun activities did occur there on the pavilion on the east side of the boulevard.
Right.
And with that gone, we've had to look for other locations. So Plyler Park, which is at the foot of Mr. Joe White Avenue, will serve as a focal point for a lot of the bands and the concerts and the events. And then the Sand Castle attempt to set the world's tallest sand castle.
Sure, yes.
Will be at 6th Avenue North and the Boulevard. We have a couple of large lots there that we'll be able to use for that purpose.
That's not the former Myrtle Beach Pavilion area?
No, it's not. It's a block and a half south of that.
Is that right?
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting. That's very interesting. I understand a lot's happening with underground utilities in the city of Myrtle Beach.
Absolutely.
Right,
if you've driven Ocean Boulevard lately, it looks spectacular. We've made a tremendous amount of progress thanks to Sandy Cooper's cooperation over the last couple of years. In fact, we pioneered this program with Santee Cooper, and other cities in South Carolina have adopted it. We put money into the underground fund. Santee Cooper contributes money into the underground fund, and then we go through and place retrofit utilities underground. Ocean Boulevard, after this fall, will be nearly complete with the exception of that little piece between 9th Avenue North and about 5th Avenue North in that area, or 5th Avenue South.
So 9th Avenue North around Plyler Park
down to about 3rd Avenue
Family
South
Kingdom,
in that neighborhood.
Right.
It will be underground otherwise in the commercial district.
That is amazing.
It looks spectacular if you haven't seen it.
It makes a world of difference. Absolutely. I wish everyone was so blessed to be able to take advantage of that. I know a lot of the Myrtle Beach Air Base, the former Air Base, a lot's going underground now.
Sandy
Cooper's pounding down through Seagate Village in that area.
The city actually requires that new developments all be underground. That's part of the city code.
Good.
And Santee Cooper's on board with that. Certainly big transmission lines can't go underground, but they're comfortable putting everything else underground. So.
We've got about 5 minutes, Mark, and that gives me a chance to think about South Carolina's largest garage sale, which is...
and that may be one of the most frequently asked questions we get. Lots of people love the garage sale. They look forward to it every year. We do have a date this year.
Great, good.
And the Pavilion Parking Garage is still going to be there September 15th.
9/15, fantastic.
Yes, Saturday, September 15th from 7 a.m. to noon. We'll open up the vendor spaces later in the year. We're not going to do it right now, but we'll do that later in the year. But that's a great thing. We have about 400 vendors and then about 10,000 people. We have people,
oh, come on.
Seriously, people who plan their vacations around the garage sale.
I've seen you quoted saying that, Mark. I don't know if I ever believed you, but now it sounds like you're saying on film.
Yes.
Yeah.
Show you the email.
That's incredible. South Carolina's largest garage sale, Saturday, September 15th from 7 to noon.
Right.
Any great items you've picked up in the past at the sale, or do you stand back and
I do go look around.
Yeah.
I've gotten to the age and place where I don't need a whole lot of stuff anymore. But I do go look and try to find something every year.
You do have a teenage son, though, Mark. I bet he would be happy if Dad was picking up some cool items.
He probably would be.
Garage sale. Speaking of that, he just wrapped up his freshman year.
He did at NC State University in Raleigh.
In Raleigh, absolutely. Did you get up much to? I'm sure that maybe the Wake Forest NC State game you made it.
Yes, I did. I made it up for that. So.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, a lot happening in the Triangle, and of course a lot of Triangle folks. Do you have any idea? Or is that a chamber question of what area in the Carolinas feeds the most folks into the city of Myrtle Beach?
That really is a chamber question. I think South Carolina and then North Carolina would be the next largest destination, but I don't know the answer to that.
I've got a lot of folks in the Triangle come down here and continue to come down here. There's a big firefighter cook-off coming up soon, I believe.
There is. That's going to be part of the Sun Fun thing. It's on Saturday, June 2nd.
Right.
And you've seen Iron Chef, undoubtedly. And the idea was that since our fire station people cook, they're there 24 hours a day, so they are fairly good behind a stove.
Right.
We're going to have a secret ingredient for them, and they'll be able to bring some of the staples, and then they'll cook up something that everybody can sample. How's that?
That is great. Okay, this Saturday, June 2.
June 2nd, yeah, this Saturday, June 2nd. They'll start cooking at 9, judging at 11, and then samples after that.
That is fantastic. We've just got a couple of minutes, Mark. Storm Buddies.
Storm Buddies. We're working for the third year now with neighborhoods, churches, senior citizens in the area to make sure that they take under their wing people who don't drive, people who live alone, people who could not evacuate on their own if we get an evacuation order. The idea would be to have the neighbors look after the people who cannot look after themselves. So we're working through the churches and the neighborhood associations to make that happen.
That's fantastic. That is fantastic. And of course, you talked briefly about Crabtree Gym and the renovations, the $6+ million. A lot. The other city gyms are, of course, there's the Pepper Gettings Recreation Center, Canal Street Recreation Center, and then the Base Recreation Center, which gets a surprising amount of use. Everything from table tennis to quilting to line dancing and even belly dancing at times. Is that right? Belly dancing.
Yes.
So there are 4 recreation centers. I mean, or 3.
5 if you count.
Let's see.
Pepper Gettings, yes, correct, 4.
Right. So you've really got an opportunity to spread the city out very well. And for folks, particularly down there, the Base Rec Center is magnificent. It is a beautiful facility from the ground up, or refurbished very well, and right down the street from Crabtree Gym. And of course, a lot of swimming taking place this summer, a lot of youth opportunities.
We do actually have a fairly active swim team. I never was a very good swimmer. I'm on the beach every weekend, but I don't swim that much. But our swim team is very active, and the Pepper Gettings pool is a great place, too.
Oh, it is. And it was recently refurbished.
It was, in terms of air conditioning and that sort of things, and the Pepper Gettings gym itself was expanded. So.
What do you think has been the most exciting aspect for you, Mark, over the last 9 years as Public Information Officer for the city of Myrtle Beach?
It's just a dynamic community. We have so much going on from a construction standpoint, from a community appearance standpoint, the Ocean Boulevard, for example, the other streets that we've done, the parks that the city's managed to create. One of the challenges that everybody faces is the residents versus visitors. We have so much of what we have because we're a tourist destination. If we were a normal town of 25,000, we wouldn't have so many different things to choose from. But we do have that choice because of all the visitors who come to us. And yet, still, you have to strike that balance between residents and tourists.
And, of course, all the folks making the laws, the city council members, live in the city of Myrtle Beach, so they are faced with that dilemma every day as well.
Correct.
Those are great words. Mark, thanks so much for being with us this morning. And like your red, white, and blue, getting ready for July 4th.
Absolutely.
Very handsome. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with the Public Information Officer, Mark Kruea, coming up next. Think about that. Exactly 9 years ago, Mark's replying to an ad. An exciting ad. They're looking for a public information officer for the city of Myrtle Beach. You wonder what makes someone think about replying to an ad like that. He said it in the last 25 minutes. He's on the beach every weekend in the summer. He's probably on the beach a lot more. It's that last word in the city's name, beach. City of Myrtle Beach. Remember that, cityofmyrtlebeach.com, cityofmyrtlebeach.com. Go online. There's some tremendous information online. If you don't have a computer and don't want to go to Chapin Library, another library, to go online to visit the website, pick up the phone. Write this number down, 918-1014, 918-1014. How often do you get guests who actually give their direct line out? They give out some line you can never get to them. Pick up the phone. He's giving you that line. It's an exciting, easy number to remember, 918-1014. Also, you can send him an email at info@cityofmyrtlebeach.com to get his weekly Myrtle Beach events email. A tremendous email. This is like 13 pages in one email if you printed it out. There's a lot of great information. Go online to cityofmyrtlebeach.com.